Hey guys, this is Not Lammers, welcome back, and today we are doing a updated Subterror deck profile. This is more Guru Control-esque than the last one. It's still not full-on Guru Control, it's just a little bit, it's still the Behemoth version of Subterrors, because I really do like playing the Behemoths. I think that that's one big element that modern Subterror decks are missing out on, but this still is a pretty awesome deck to play, and honestly I found some really good success with it when playing it around. So anyways, down in the description there's a link to our Patreon if you want to back us on that, and anything you back us with on there goes right back into the deck profiles. There's also a link to our Discord. You guys can chat with us on that if you feel like talking to us. Our general chat is open to the public, but with that out of the way, we're going to move these spells and traps off to the side, and we're going to talk about the monsters. So this is a deck that I don't play too often anymore, but I do really like it when I do play it. First up, we have triple Subterror Guru. This guy is awesome. His effect, he has a flip effect, and that is you can add one Subterror card from your deck to your hand. Then he has another effect where you can target one other face-up monster on the field, change that monster and this card to face down defense position, and it becomes a quick effect if you control another Subterror card. You can only use each effective Guru once per turn. So that's pretty awesome, being able to quick effect flip stuff. One way that you can get him to flip down is with Subterror Fiendess. This thing is awesome. It's kind of like, it's an in-theme hand trap. So her effect is, during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, target one Subterror monster you control, negate the activation, then change the targeted monster to face down defense position. You can target one face up monster you control, change it to face down defense position, and if you do, special summon one Subterror monster from your hand or graveyard in face up or face down defense. You can only use each effect of Fiendess once per turn. So on field effect to basically flip Book of Moon herself and summon back a Subterror Behemoth monster, if I'm right. No, it's any Subterror monster. Wow, that's crazy. While she's on field, and then she's a hand trap also from field. So pretty awesome card. After that, we have two Subterror Nemesis Archer. So this card is pretty neat, combos with Guru pretty well. Her effect is, at the start of the damage step, this card attacks the opponent's face down defense position monster, and you control another Subterror monster, you can shuffle that opponent's monster into the deck. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Subterror monster from your deck and face up or face down defense. You can only use each effect of Archer once per turn. So really cool, just instant shuffle back into the deck. And then the last tiny Subterror we run is Subterror Nemesis Warrior. I play two of him. I used to play three, but I think two is just fine now. His effect is, during either player's turn, you can send one Subterror monster from your deck to the graveyard, tribute this card, and at least one other monster. So the total original levels tributed equal or exceed the level of that Subterror monster in the graveyard, and if you do, special summon that monster face up or face down defense. And then he has another effect that says, if a Subterror Behemoth monster is flipped face up with this card in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect of Nemesis Warrior once per turn. So it's just awesome revival, tribute fodder, very cool card. That's it for the little Subterrors. Then we have some big Subterrors. So we're gonna move those guys off to the side and talk about the big Subterrors. We play two Ultima Fuss. So Ultima Fuss, all the big Subterrors share the effect of you can only use the flip effect of each Subterror Behemoth once per turn, and also when a face-up monster you control is flipped face down, if you control no face-up monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense. So all of them feature that effect, and then they all have a unique flip effect. This guy's unique flip effect is, when this card is flipped face up, you can target one monster your opponent controls and banish it. Then we also play one of Stalagmo, who lets you discard a Subterror card to draw two cards. One Speleogeist, who has the effect to target a monster on the field, changes its face-up attack position, and if it is in defense position, and then changes its attack to 0. You can only use this effect of Speleogeist once per turn. So very cool. And then we also have Ultima Fuss, who changes all face-up monsters on the field except for himself to face down defense position, so kind of like a Book Eclipse. But yeah, so we play 5 Behemoths. I think the modern decks really only play these guys, or like This guy, I think it's actually like a side thing. I haven't looked at too many other Subterror decks, but these are the ones I like to play. I like the big Book of Eclipse. I like the 0 attack guy, and I like the rock, the draw 2. So I think that's pretty cool. That's it for the Subterror monsters. Along with that, we also play 2 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. So after that, we have the spell lineup, which includes the Hidden City. This is a super awesome field spell. It says when this card is activated, you can add 1 Subterror monster from your deck to your hand. It also lets you flip up 1 Subterror monster per turn. And then it has another effect to negate battle by, I think, let me read this. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can change 1 face down defense position Subterror you control to face up attack or defense, then you can negate the attack. You can only activate 1 Hidden City per turn. So it has the attack negation by flipping up some Subterror stuff. Along with this, we play 2 Terraforming because this card is really important to the deck, especially the Guru control aspect of it. After that, we have 3 Subterror Cave Clash. Now, this is where a lot of people only play this at 1 or 2. I think this card is amazing. So the reason I like this card a lot is because if you open it, it instantly makes Guru a quick effect on either player's turn. It gives you another thing in case you didn't open the Fiendus or you didn't search the Fiendus or something like that, to make Guru a Book of Moon quick effect, which is a very good effect. Alongside that, it lets you pick up your Fienduses. So it has the effect of once per turn, if your Subterror monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you get to pick up a Subterror monster from a Subterror card from your graveyard that's not Cave Clash. And it also gives all Subterrors a boost of 500 attack per set monster on either player's side of the field. So it's very cool. I like this card a lot, and I definitely think it's worth playing 3 of. Next up, we have 3 Duality. Honestly, these should be Extravagances. If you have Extravagance, play that. I don't happen to own Extravagance, so Pot of Duality is where it's at. But this card is also still really good. The only thing that it really locks out is the Behemoth stuff. But since Behemoths are probably going to summon themselves on your opponent's turn after you activate Fiendus or Guru, this is just a nice little add to hand card. After that, we have the 1-ofs, which is 1 Book of Moon to flip stuff face down, 1 Rhoda, and 1 Monster Reborn to get back that Guru. So that's it for these spells. In my opinion, I like this lineup. I think all the spells do a lot, and I think that it's a good lineup for the deck. Next up, we have the traps. We have, of course, the most important trap in the deck, that is Subterror Final Battle. So Final Battle is a Scrap Iron Scarecrow, and what that means is that after you activate it, it gets to set itself again face down. And it has 4 different effects, and you get to pick 1 of them. So its first effect is change a set Subterror monster on the field to face up attack or defense. Change a face up Subterror on the field to face down defense. The attack and defense of 1 Subterror monster on the field become equal to its combined attack and defense until the end of this turn. And then this turn, the effects of Subterror cards cannot be negated. Now, this isn't a hard once per turn card, so if you have 2 Final Battles, you can activate both of them and be like, you can't respond to my Subterror effects, and my Subterror is really big. Or I'm flipping up a Subterror, you can't respond to my Subterror effects. Stuff like that. It gets really crazy in multiples, because it's not a hard once per turn. But it does have some really dope artwork of, like, I think that's Fiendus back there. You got, Defender, Archer, Warrior, and I forget which one that one is, but just awesome artwork for this card. After that, we have 2 copies of Back to the Front. This is just to get your dudes back, and they do come back in defense position, but for Subterrors, that's fine because it is a pretty high defense deck. 2 Storming to bounce back to the hand, and lastly 2 Quaking to flip into face down defense to give that awesome boost with Cave Clash, and also Archer. Archer will get effects based off this too. And that's it for the deck. That's all Subterror's got. They do have a Link monster that I don't play. I think the Link monster is kind of weak, honestly. I don't, especially in Subterror, since you kind of have to use the Behemoths to make it. And if you're gonna make it with the Behemoths, then why even? Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just not worth it to play it. But yeah, so this is Subterrors. I don't have an extra deck for it because it doesn't really need an extra deck. You can play standard stuff like Borreload and the Nightmares if you really want to, but you don't need to. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Down in the description below, there is a link to our Patreon. There's also a link to our Discord if you want to check out that. And let me know what you guys thought about this in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.